Hello guys, welcome back to another video and welcome to, I guess, the beginning of the work on the cheap BMW E93 series. So today, hopefully we are going to be a step closer to finding out whether the thing actually has head gasket failure. So the plan is that we are going to drain the coolant and then remove the existing expansion tank because it is pretty broken. The dipstick or the level indicator, that is completely snapped off, and also the bleeder, screw bleeder valve, whatever you want to call it, that is snapped off as well. So we do have a replacement expansion tank here. It's not brand new, but it's in very good condition. I've already checked to see if the bleeder screw removes, which it does. That's fine. I have also greased it up as well to make sure that it doesn't get stuck again. But yeah, I believe this is off a much newer and much lower mileage model, so yeah, we will get this installed. I do also have like coolant and deionized water, but I don't think we're at that stage where we're going to do a full coolant flush. I really just want to see if we are still losing coolant, so I'm more than likely just going to be filling it up with regular tap water. And then later on down the line, once we figure what the issue is, we may do a complete coolant flush. But yeah, without further ado, let's get outside, let's get the car up in the air, and let's get cracking. Okay then, so as you can see, the front of the car is up in the air. I believe that I am ready to drain the coolant now. As you can see, all of the under trays are removed. Just look at the state of these, absolutely covered in oil. Had a bit of a nightmare trying to remove some of these screws as well. Most of them had completely rusted on, and there is just a bunch of random self tapper screws in there as well, so I managed to get all of those out. That's all of the front under trays removed, and I was kind of expecting to see a radiator drain plug, but it doesn't appear that we have one, which is kind of strange. So I guess next best thing is to drain from the lowest radiator hose, which should be this one just here. I have removed the clip of it, so all I need to do is pull the pipe off now and watch it drain into the bucket, or more than likely probably mostly on the floor, but as much as possible into the bucket. Oh, and if you're wondering why the battery is on charge, by the way, it's because the voltage was just below 12, so yeah, that's on charge for when we finally get around to starting this thing up. Oh, I can see drippage. Ah, there we go. And while that coolant is busy draining away, I am going to start removing the expansion tank. So I believe there is just two hoses. There's one going out and one coming in. There we go, that's one off. And a load more came out. Well, that made a mess. And now it should just be two 10mm bolts and the electrical connector for the level sensor. Be careful with the electrical connector. Break that off. There we are. That's that removed. And that is the coolant expansion tank fully removed. Now we can go right ahead and install our new expansion tank. So yep, we'll plug in the electrical connector first. There we are. Sit that in its bung. There we go. Reinstall these two bolts. And then reinstall the two hoses. one. And there's two. And tighten these down. Now we can reinstall the lower radiator hose. Make sure it's fully on and push the clip back down. Sorted. Okay then, so that is the expansion tank swapped out. I guess all that's left to do now is fill this up with coolant, or in our case just regular tap water, and then we can hopefully get the engine fired up. This is what we was missing from before, an actual level indicator. Yeah, that's going to continue going down, I think. Must have drained it a good 5 or 6 litres. Okay, and so I am happy that we have enough coolant or water in the system now to fire it up. That level will drop as soon as I fire the engine up, if we manage to get it fired up. And yeah, then I'll add some more coolant. And we're not going to do like a full bleed, or we're not going to try and bleed the air out or do a flush of any kind, because the goal is to try and find out what the issue is. We're not too bothered about flushing the air out of the system at this point. We just want to try and run the engine and get the expansion tank to not be spilling over. Okay, so I'm going to leave the battery charger in place just to kind of give it a little boost, but yeah, I guess here goes nothing. Let's try and get this thing fired up. So it fired up pretty much straight away. There was a slight hesitation, but as you can see, it is now running. Now I think what we'll do is get the coolant level back up to the maximum, reinstall the cap, and then I guess wait for this to get up to temperature and then see what happens. Okay then, so as you can see, the coolant is now up to temperature, sitting nicely at 88 degrees, which is bang on. That means the thermostat has fully opened. And if we take a look at the engine, it is running pretty much perfect. It sounds fine, no issues, no timing chain noises or anything like that. If you have a look at the coolant expansion tank, that is completely dry. It is not overflowing or anything, so I'm a little bit bemused at the moment. I don't really know what to do. I mean, like, there's no indication that there is a head gasket failure. I mean, like, go around to the exhaust, and if there was coolant escaping into the exhaust, we should see white smoke out of here, but as you can see, there is absolutely nothing. There's no indication that we're overheating. Engine's running fine, coolant isn't running out of the expansion tank, so yeah, I really don't know what to think at this point. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do now is get the car back on the ground, and then I guess take it for a little bit of a test drive and see if we notice anything wrong. But like I said, everything seems good at the moment. But yeah, let's get this thing back on the ground, let's take it for a little drive. Okay then guys, so just got back from a little test drive, went for about 15 minutes or so, and I can honestly say that the car seems to drive absolutely spot on. I mean, in terms of the head gasket failure, I really could not seem to simulate anything that would indicate that there was a head gasket failure. Like I said, there was no smoke coming from the exhaust, coolant level seems to be fine. There's no oil in the coolant, there's no coolant in the oil. So yeah, I'm really a bit lost, I'm a bit bemused. I don't really know what to say. And yeah, I mean, we don't know yet, it still is early days, but I don't know why the previous owner would sell the car so cheap, saying that it is a head gasket failure, before at least getting a professional opinion, you know, by an actual mechanic. Because simply just saying that your expansion tank is overflowing and then just saying it's head gasket failure, that's just like, seems a bit silly to me. Like, surely you'd want to know for sure if you do have head gasket failure before like selling your car so cheap. But yeah, like I really can't complain, to be honest. Like, the car itself, you know, I was expecting some squeaks, some knocks, some bangs, you know, with the suspension and whatever, and honestly I can say it seems absolutely fine. The brakes, after I, you know, done a few sharp brakes, after done a few sharp braking maneuvers, should we say, yeah, they seem absolutely fine. I mean, it could do with a full brake fluid flush. It does, the pedal does seem quite a bit spongy, but yeah, I think, you know, a full brake fluid flush should be fine for those. And yeah, I really don't know where to go from now. I think I will definitely put the car on the road, you know, tax it, insure it and all the rest of it, and then I guess drive it for a little bit of time just to make sure that we don't have any issues. But yeah, I really am quite confused. Like I said, I was really expecting the head gasket to be failed, and I thought, you know, I'm just going to swap the expansion tank out first, drain the coolant, get it to a proper level, and then sort of go from there. But yeah, you know, it seemed to get up to temperature absolutely fine, thermostat open like it should, got up to 87, 88 degrees, and then the car seemed to run fine and drive fine. So yeah guys, honestly, let me know if I am forgetting something, but yeah, like I'm honestly over the moon at the moment. But yeah, I guess we shall see for another video. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this one. Please give it a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so, and I will see you all in that next one. Peace.